day three, like there's like a bunch of like actually good players gonna be coming in now. Like these lobbies gonna be really stacked. Like there's no way I'm making day four. So I was like, all right, my Sunday's gonna be open. I'm gonna be playing ACL. Like it's all good. But then the infamous meme happens in game 5 of day 3 where Setsuko types me, "Who the f is this?" or "Who is OwenTFT?" and I'm pretty sure that's like the cleanest game of TFT I've played. That I played that game really well. I ended up beating his Garen 3 with a Riftwalker, Renegade, Jhin, and ASO board.
Welcome to Behind the Screens. My name is CLE, and I'm joined today by the infamous OwenTFT. He is a competitive TFT now pro, right? Right, tournament. You're a pro. Yeah?
Sure. I mean, I didn't win anything, so I'll retain my amateur status.
Well, that's true. I guess it's maybe until you get paid. Well, you got paid for some other amateur. Anyway, we can talk about that later. But he just competed in Mech Cup Day 4 this weekend, able to make it to the final day. Just had a fantastic showing. So, Owen, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Owen. I guess now I'm famously known as OwenTFT, but I'm from Ohio, currently in Columbus, and I'm working at a corporation down here in a rotational analyst program. So that's the job.
Did I know you're only 2 hours from me? I'm in Cleveland. Have we talked about this?
I think we've only talked that we're both in Ohio, but not.
Yeah. Fellow Ohio degen, as the world likes to hit on Ohio. It's fair. It's fine.
Yeah.
So you competed in Mech Cup this weekend. Let's talk a little bit about your journey. You played on day 1 with myself, but you had a significantly better day than me. You were ranked 21 out of 128. How did day 1 go?
So day 1 was, I think day 1 might have been the day I played best overall for the entire tourney. I ended up getting a bonus point, but I was pretty familiar with all the boards that I ended up playing on day 1. I played like Lucian Reroll, which like pretty much anyone can play. But I think I played like Burning Spirit and played Oxslingers like 3 games. So like those games are all pretty simple and like they play themselves and you just itemizing. It's a much more linear board that you play for those types of games. And then the future days I was dizzy and getting confused on a lot of games. But day 1 actually went pretty well, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it showed in the points, right? You didn't bot 4 day 1, correct?
Yeah, no bot 4s day 1. My stream title did not lie.
Did you bot 4 day 2?
Oh, I bought 4 day 2. I think I might have had 2 bot 4s. Day 2 was not as clean.
Yeah, day 2 maybe not as clean, but got you through. Ranked 22 on that day, getting 30 points. You needed top 32 to get through to the second weekend, and you did so. Day 2, how did that one feel?
Day 2 was probably the worst of the 4 days I played, I think. Like whenever Keen's, Flames, and I were VOD reviewing all those games from day 2, it was like there were just so many like just unacceptable mistakes made throughout the whole day. Like day 2, I'm pretty sure I high rolled a lot of spots, but I don't know. It just day 2 was really awkward. I played a couple comps I wasn't familiar with, but managed to like get like a couple like free Kaisa games to go like top 2 and then make it to day 3. So
did you end up sticking with the Kaisa route on the next weekend when you made it through?
I was looking for Kaisa if the spots were open, but like I wasn't going in every game like planning to force Kaisa. Like if I get dropped Shiv on 2-1, then I was looking to play Kaisa, but that was something that I learned through some of the VOD reviews of just playing like more open to like AP flex in general instead of just Kaisa, because I think the AP flex tree right now is pretty wide open. There's a lot of things that you can play playing AP flex.
Yeah, I feel like with all of the different AP carries, especially like ace souls and outs, always it's just always so consistently good because you just build a front line and you slap AP on one of these carries and you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. So you made it to week 2 against, obviously they pull in the top 32 from other places. And so 64 of the best players in TFT. And day 3, ranked 26, moving on to day 4. How did day 3 go?
So going into day 3, I was pretty sure I was just I thought there's like no chance I was making it through day 3. Like to be like, I was like, okay, like day 3, like there's like a bunch of like actually good players going to be coming in now. Like these lobbies going to be really stacked. Like there's no way I'm making day 4. So I was like, all right, my Sunday's going to be open. I'm going to be playing ACL. Like it's all good. But then the infamous meme happens in game 5 of day 3 where Setsuko types me, "Who the is this?" or "Who is OwenTFT?" And and then I'm pretty sure that's like the cleanest game of TFT I've played. That I played that game really well, and I ended up beating his Garen 3 with a Riftwalker, Renegade, Jhin, and Aso board, which I started off taking Battle Mage, and that game I was playing Duelist for a long time, and then eventually transitioned to Jhin, which I remember going into the call after with Timo, Dot, and Flames, and we were talking about the game, and they had no clue where I was going with that game. They thought I was they thought I was playing for like 6th or 7th that game, and I ended up going first. So I think that was my best played game of the tournament. But the other games on day 3 were they were all right. I don't think I played great day 3. It's just game 5 I actually played pretty good. Game 6 I was pretty sure I was qualified, but I played game 6 like abysmally. I'm pretty sure like any diamond player could have played game 4 or game 6 better, but overall pretty good.
You set yourself up being around like a 4 average on day 3, and then game 5 happened, and it was so funny to us, right?
It's too good.
I mean, we'll put it up on the screen too, that screenshot of Setsuko saying that, and then obviously you sent him out in 3rd and then took the 1st in that lobby, and so it just you're an infamous meme, man. Everyone wants to know who you are, and that's kind of why you're here, right? So when Setsuko says that, how did it make you feel as a player, as a human?
Oh, I was just laughing because I ended up between games I joined back into Discord and talk with whoever, because there's like 15-20 minute breaks between games. So I stopped in with Flames and them, and I was just in Timo, Dot, whoever's in Discord, and just like, dude, Setsuko's just flaming me in lobby chat right now. Like, what the hell, man? Come on. But it was I don't know, I just thought it was kind of funny because like, I mean, I don't know why it was the lobby host anyways, so he got the invite from me. He has no clue who I am. Like I can understand why he had no clue who I was, so I just thought it was kind of funny.
And usually, right, like week 2, right, this is the best of the best players, and now you're there. So I mean, as funny of a question is, it's a little bit valid, right? Like, wait,
oh yeah,
who is this guy? It's just funny that it came from Setsuko, and then that you took him out and became his nemesis throughout the rest of the tournament. 3.
And then, man, because I pulled up his VOD from that day, and I remember he's like, who actually is this guy? Like, and then they're like, oh, he thought I was a lab mem player, because just assuming my like name's hidden on ladder, like he hasn't seen me, but. It's just I don't play a ton of ladder games, and Setsuko's way higher up on ladders, so I don't think he's ever seen my account too often.
I mean, definitely not mine, I can tell you that. Yeah, so that moment happens, you go on, you make it through day 3, make it on to day 4. Everyone's so hyped for you being able to, you're playing week 1, you make it to day 4. And how do you feel like you did on day 4?
Day 4 was like, it was okay. I think I had a lot of tough spots in day 4 where I don't think I didn't play like only the 3rd game, or the 2nd game of the day was like I'm pretty sure it was the only one I was like pretty comfortable with. I ended up going 2nd because that was just like a pretty standard AP game. But the one thing I learned from the first game was I'm pretty sure I was actually supposed to take stacks on stacks, but I just like didn't trust myself. Like game 1, like if I take stacks on stacks, it looks like I'm trying to cook way too much. Like I was like, I just like have to trust myself, because I'm pretty sure it was like actually a pretty good spot for it. And then I ended up taking like Petrosite, which is like fine, but I didn't have a great anima opener, and it just didn't work out well. And so I don't think I played great on day 4 as a whole, but I think that was day 4 is the toughest in terms of the spots I was trying to play. And then one of the lobbies was just insane. Like 3 or 4 people took time and a half. I also took time and a half because I had Deathblade to slam. And then on 3-5, Ripple just hits Samira 2 on 3-5. Somebody hits Sivir 3 on like 4-1 or 4-2 when Sivir's like the most contested unit that game. Like I didn't like that was a demon lobby. Like I'm pretty sure Ramlin ended up going 7th that game, and everyone knows how good Ramlin is. He had 2 Star Guardian spats. Like,
And he goes 7th.
yeah, so like I'm sure his spot that game was just as bad. If he's going 7 with 2 Star Guardian spats, like that lobby was just insane.
Yeah.
So
I mean, these lobbies just happen when you have those crazy high elo people that just know how to cap out boards at every stage of the game. And so, you took a second, you took a first, right? You took a first in the game, right? On day 4?
Day 4 I didn't have any first. I had second.
Wait,
but
you went second twice. Yes, you did. In game 5, you went first.
that was day 3.
Oh, that was day.
Game 5 and day 4. I went up against Setsuko again. I went third that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he won or went second. I can't remember, but
he did win, and he was getting his hero arc out, right? Like he defeated his nemesis.
I'm sure that game had to have been really funny because I'm pretty sure every round that game, like throughout up until stage 5 where he knocked me out, I'm pretty sure I beat him in every fight and like I don't even think my board was strong most of the game either. I just somehow always beat his board. So I'm sure like the chat was just memeing my name again. It was just really funny, but
it was. I was there. It was really funny. So he did end up getting a little bit of revenge on you there, sending you third. So good scores overall in day 3. You finished 22nd, which I mean isn't too far off the cutoff, right? You're 6 spots off. 4 points off. Not quite enough to make it to that penultimate lobby and then the finals, but overall pretty good, right? You finished 22nd in the only real open cup of set 8.5, which was also, this is something I want to call out, is the 3rd best placement of any week 1 player. Anyone on day 1 that played, you had the 3rd best placement out of those guys. So only Rainzer and Kindle Gem, who went 4th overall and is now playing in regionals, were the only ones that played in week 1 that were better than you. So you can wear that star, you can wear that badge proudly.
Yeah, I did not realize. I didn't realize there were only 3, or I'm sure there were a couple more week 1 players, but yeah, I didn't realize I was 3rd of all the week 1 players. But yeah, I think overall, like I'm pretty sure I learned way more from playing in this cup than like probably in like the past 6 months as a whole of just like playing the game. Like VOD reviewing day 1 to like day 1 I VOD reviewed with, it was Keen's, Flames, I think Timo's in the call for maybe, or no, Timo joined later, but I think Dot was in there. And then day 2, Keen's and Flames and I VOD reviewed each of our games. And then day 3, Flames and I VOD reviewed my games again, and we VOD reviewed his games from day 3. Never mind. He did not play day 3. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, we VOD reviewed my day 3 game. So I learned a ton of just, there's like, and that was like the crazy thing to me was like, I made it to day 4, and after VOD reviewing all the games, I felt like I wasn't even like playing particularly well. Like there was like so many other things where it's like you can do so much better throughout every game. But so it was really like eye-opening of like, okay, like maybe I'm not that bad or like not that far off of like a lot of these like top players of like there's like a lot of stuff I can do better and I'm like very far off them, but like I'm making it to day 4 and I didn't think I was like egregiously high rolling throughout the entire tournament. Like there were a couple of spots obviously where I high rolled, but for the most part I don't think I was like egregiously high rolling. And so making day 4 like playing like okay-ish after going back through VODs was pretty like boost my confidence, I think. So
yeah, I mean you're a beast, right? Like we're going to talk about this a little bit in a second. We're going to work backwards and figure out really who you are here. But you're a beast. You're inspiration to a lot of the people here that are in Aegis and play in these tournaments here and the leagues and all these different things. You made it to day 4. That's a really big accomplishment, especially being someone who played in week 1 and then had to fight through all of those different days. So let's go on a journey a little bit to dive into your backstory and figure out and answer Setsuko's question of who is OwenTFT, man? Who are you? So what has kind of been your TFT competitive experience up to this point?
So starting off in TFT, I remember when it released, like set 1 released. And because like I'd like play League of Legends like here and there, but like I never really played it like or never like committed to it too much. So I'd like play it here and there for fun, and then I saw they released TFT, and basically up till set 6, I would just like randomly hop on, like play some TFT games. Like I'm pretty sure if you go back on my LoL chest, you'd see like season 2 or set 2 or like set 3. Like I'd be like bronze and like silver because I'd just like play a couple games. Like I had no clue what I was doing. Like just like clicking units, like completely playing for fun, like complete casual player. And then one of my friends got into the game in set 6. So I was kind of like watching because I was like, oh, I've like played this before. So I was like watching him play a little bit, and I started playing again, or like started like actually taking the game serious, I think. So I think I hit plat in set 6. I played like the second half of it. And then set 6.5 is like the first like real set where I started to like play a lot. And that's like when I hit masters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the competitive TFT subreddit, and I think I saw like sure it was probably Lawrence's post about like the AML leagues and Aegis leagues. So I was like, oh, like that looks kind of fun, like a league to join into, just like something to do of like to like kind of play competitively, but like just something to join and have some fun with. So I joined into that, and that was kind of my first introduction to competitive TFT, which at that time, there were a ton of people back then. Like if you like go back to that doc of people that there now, I think like Timo was in it,
Mm-hmm.
Ramen was in it, so a bunch of people that like I'm familiar with and like friends now. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, especially in set 7 AML, right? That was the one you started playing first.
I think I played, or I don't know if I played 6.5 AML or not. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I played 7 AML for sure and 7.5 for sure as well. And
Yeah,
then
and you won 7.5.
No, I ended up getting second
That's
in
right.
set 8 AML because I was playing AML in set 8, but so set 8 is when I definitely had the most improvement. Is I was pretty much up to that. Like I hit GM for like 2 games in set 7, but like that, like I'm pretty sure I just high rolled like 6 games in a row for like no
Right.
reason, and just like, or like probably like 10 games in a row, and like just a bunch of top 4s, and hit GM for like 1 day and then it dropped back down. But then set 7.5, I was hovering around Master Zero most of the time. Then set 8 is when I started to meet a lot more people in the community and started to like learn more about the game. And that's whenever I climbed the most for sure, because I hit Challenger for the first time set 8, and I wanted to. Whenever I hit Challenger, then it was a little bit after each of the cup cutoffs of making the being able to play in the Corrupted and Defender Cup. So I kind of set out at that point. I was like, I want to play in like one of these Riot Cups. I really want to play in the 8.5 one. So after I hit Challenger and then 8.5 comes around, I make my cup for as the first Riot tournament I played, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, so your very first tournament, you make it all the way to day 4, as a newly challenger player, right? You haven't been playing since set 1, like so many other people, like myself included, been following the scene since the beginning, and trying to figure out TFT. And so you start playing, like, I guess really 2 sets ago, 2 sets ago,
Yeah, right.
playing for real, right? Like actually learning how to play the
Yeah.
game, learning the mechanics and units, and figuring out the min-max stuff that
Yeah,
everyone's been trying to figure out since the beginning.
like 2 sets of like actually trying to get better, and like and a lot of that's just like watching good players. Like I'll watch like Ramlin stream a lot, Dish Soap, Robin. There's like so many good players to watch, and you can learn so much just like trying to like understand their decision making, or like before they pick an augment, trying to like guess what decisions they're gonna make, or like why they're gonna do something. So it's kind of how I've improved a lot, I think.
That's always so helpful to watch those good players and try to sneak into their mind a little bit and be like, why did they make that decision, or what would I have done that they did differently? So that's always super helpful. Have you ever been competitive in any other games?
I mean, I wouldn't really say like too competitive. I think like the only other game I've won, like I played a lot of like I grew up playing COD basically, so that's like been the game I've played my whole life. So, and then whenever Warzone played out, or came out, I played a lot of like Fortnite before that. So like it was like during the whole like battle royale phase.
Of course.
So COD Warzone comes out, and me and my friend were playing that, and we were both really good at COD Warzone. Like So we were like looking for like random tournaments to play and like the kill race stuff, and then we ended up playing in one of the tournaments where it was like some collegiate tourney he found that we signed up for, and we ended up winning, and we won like $130 each. But I mean, that was like the extent of like competitive playing. Like we weren't like entering a bunch of tournaments or anything. But yeah, I think that's the game I was probably best at before like playing TFT. I was that's probably the game I'd say that's probably the game I was most competitive at was Call of Duty Warzone. We got pretty
So
good at that.
you're a pro Warzone player then. You've gotten
Yeah,
paid.
yeah, I'm technically a pro Warzone player. I do love to say that. Anytime I'm playing like COD with some of like my older friends that I played with growing up, is that I am a professional Call of Duty player.
Yeah, and you've won some money playing TFT too, right? Through Aegis stuff.
Yeah, I won. I won one of the weeklies in set 8. Yeah, I got second in AML, and I won a couple of the PSLT weeklies. So
yeah, so you're a
top
TFT
4 to a
player
couple
too,
of
man.
PSLTs. Not I didn't win any of those. A couple top 4s.
Still a pro. Still a pro,
Right,
regardless. Yeah. So you played a lot of Call of Duty growing up. That was just mainly, just the shooters that everyone played growing up.
Yeah, pretty much. I think what kind of got me into gaming most was like I'd always play like sports games or like Crash Bandicoot when we were growing up, like because when we had like a PlayStation 1 and then PlayStation 2, like me and my brothers, we'd play like just random sports games all the time growing up and playing against each other. And then we got a PlayStation 3, and it was supposed to be like for all three of or me and my 2 other brothers, like all 3 of us. But we basically got Call of Duty MW2 at the time, and it basically became my PS3. So I was just playing MW2 all the time, and I was terrible at I was so bad, but it was just so much fun. It was like the first game that like you really like fall in love with, and just playing it so much. It was so much fun.
And so you go on to continue to play these shooters, get pretty good at Warzone and all the battle royales that we all played and did all these things. Yeah. And, COVID and Fortnite, they just everybody did it. And so like, how has gaming changed for you now? Because TFT is definitely not the same as Warzone. How in the world did you make that transition?
Yeah, so it was pretty much like one of my friends I was playing Warzone with, he was the one that started playing like TFT here and there, and then like watch some of his games. But it was just kind of like most of my other friends like would have like kind of like stopped playing like games as much, and I was like, and I just don't enjoy like story games like a ton. Like I've probably only played like story games like once or twice. So, like I just don't get into them as much. So like I just always want to play something competitive. So I was basically just looking to play like something competitive that I can play like solo. And I mean, like TFT kind of fits that mold like perfectly. And it was like a game, like whenever I first started playing, it's like it's so easy to just play TFT, and then like you pull up a YouTube video, pull up like Netflix, pull up Twitch, and you're sitting there like watching a stream while like just clicking random units and just seeing like what you can what boards you can make. But so it was like a nice way to kill time.
Yeah, you can see how many golden units you can get by just clicking the same one over and over again, and then they start doing beautiful things. Yeah. So like that's just, I think that's fascinating. I love asking people in the TFT space where they've come from. Like you hear a lot of Hearthstone crossover, obviously a lot of League of Legends crossover, but rarely do you hear of somebody going from, yeah, I'm a shooters player and now I'm going to play this really slow paced strategy game.
Right. Yeah. I think that's why I think I've liked watching like a lot of rambling streams, is because I originally played a lot of like Destiny as well when Destiny originally came out on PlayStation 3. So like that was, and I remember his name because he was a beast at Destiny. Like he was insane at Destiny whenever like it first came out, and like he played it for long after I was like I quit playing the game because some of the DLCs I just kind of got bored of and stopped playing. But yeah, he was insane at Destiny. So then like going into TFT, like seeing a stream that I like was vaguely familiar with, I was like, oh, this is like one of the best TFT players in the world. That's kind of interesting. And like, yeah, he kind of comes from a like shooters background, I guess.
Gotcha. That's I mean, that makes sense. That bridge obviously exists outside of just you. So, right. It's super fun to learn and hear more about your story. But I would love to hear more about like what was growing up as Owen like.
So I like just growing up in a small town in Ohio because I'm only in Columbus now because I went to Ohio State and then graduated last year. So then go into a program of working at a company of like 2-year rotational program. So I'm still just living in Columbus, but I was from a like smaller town in Ohio and just growing up with two brothers, like we were always competing with each other of just like playing sports. Like we all played a lot of basketball growing up, played like soccer here and there. I kind of got bored of playing soccer eventually, and then we moved into like playing a ton of golf because my mom she's really good at golf. She was like basically a borderline like LPGA player. Like she was like on the cusp of like playing like golf professionally, and then but just the traveling of all that and just didn't work out too well. So it just ended up coming back to just living in small town in Ohio, and then but yeah, played a lot of sports growing up, just but not too much outside of that. Just but that's like one thing. It just kind of like fell in love with like sports and like competition in general is because growing up, I would like as grow up as like a Steelers fan because we live right on the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. So I'm sure that hurts you, but and then like going to like Cavs games when LeBron was in Cleveland, it was really cool. So
Yeah.
the first time he was in Cleveland, yeah. So
If you're not from the Midwest, you don't really understand. Like sports is what drives so much in the
oh yeah,
Midwest.
that's all it is.
I mean, you know, you live in Columbus now, you went to Ohio State, you really understand people love Ohio State.
Oh yeah, the Ohio State fans are some of the most delusional people ever, and it is too funny because I am now what people would consider a delusional Ohio State fan as well. But yeah, so that's like kind of the main thing I follow now is Ohio State basketball, football. I've kind of fell out of like rooting for any specific team in the NFL, so I wouldn't call myself any like particular fan in the NFL or like NBA. But like now I kind of just like follow players and just like really pay attention to Ohio State because after going to games at the shoe for like 5 years, you become pretty invested.
It hits different, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can we can start hating on Honey Bear together. He's you know, the team up north fan. So
Oh yeah, like this guy's got 2 wins in the last 2 years and probably thinks they're like at the top of the world. Just forgetting the last 20 years. Classic.
he definitely thinks that. He definitely does. What is a day right now?
Lost to
in your current role?
TCU though.
That's true. They did. What does a day in the day of the life of OwenTFT look like right now in your current role and your job and, you know, playing TFT?
Oh, it is pretty boring. So it usually just depends if I have to go into the office for work or not. If I don't have to go into the office, I'll wake up right around 9 in the morning, sign on to my laptop for work, and just do a couple like daily random tasks for there, not doing a whole lot. And then just sit there and like watch streams and YouTube videos the entire day while I'm quote unquote working.
For legal reasons. Joke.
Yeah, while I'm working very hard. And but then after I get done so then at like 5 whenever I sign off, I'll usually like if I'm working from home, then I'll like either just like queue it up and like play a couple games of TFT, then go get something to eat, probably like join Discord, see if anyone else is playing, backseat them or just like watch their games. And then usually I'll play like a couple more games, but and then probably just like head to bed, like watch a movie or something, then wake up, do it all again the next day for the next day of work. But then
again.
If I'm in office for work, then I'll have to get up like around 8, so a little bit earlier. And then whenever I get back from being in office, I'll usually like just like lay down for a little bit, take like just like rest, decompress for like probably like 45 minutes or an hour. Then like get up, make something to eat, or me or my brother go pick something up. Then we then probably get on TFT, play a couple games, and head to bed after that.
You don't play a ton of TFT. I do know that about you. Like you don't
right,
have
yeah.
the 300 to 1,000 games that some of these other players have.
Yeah, that's something I can never understand is how like some of these players, man, they play so many games. They're playing like 400 or 500 games like each set, and I played a ton of set 8, like way more of set 8 than I ever thought I'd ever play. But like I just can't play that many games a day. It is too hard to be playing like 9 to 10 games every day. And I think that's like something almost like similar to from like watching Ramblin'. It's just like he plays ladder a very minimal amount and just learns from watching so many other people play. So that's like kind of like what I've done as well. It's like I'll play like 5 or 6 games a day, maybe less than that. But so that just how I play now, because I just can't play 10 games a day. It's just like too much.
Yeah.
So but like I have no problem like sitting there and like watching and like half like backseating somebody playing and like giving ideas or like thinking of like how they're playing and like trying to cook stuff up that way. Because I think that's like something for set 8 that I've joked about is what helped me get a lot better. Was like I would join Discord, sit there and like watch Dot playing, and sit there and like cook up some random tech and like just limit test on his account, and then I'd queue up on my account, and then I'd climb, and then I'd be chilling. So
sacrifice Dot's LP. It's fine. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, Dot and I were both learning from his account, and then I'd go climb on my account, so it was all good. So I think that helped me a ton.
Competitive advantage, yeah, definitely. Right. That's what that was. Yeah, I mean, those Discord calls and just sitting there and learning and understanding, like, I hear Timo say, "Ooh, I wouldn't have chosen that," and I'm like, wait, why? I was like, I feel like this is good. He's like, oh, because this and this. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm down. Thank you for helping me think through these things. So all those calls, learning from those streams, they're very similar ideas, right? Those study groups are very helpful to share tech with one another. Watching those streams from the really, really good players, because there is that tier, right?
Oh yeah,
the dish soaps, the Setsukos, all of these ladder warriors who just can't lose. Robin, there's so many of them. But
yeah,
they just have so much wisdom.
Funniest backseater, man. Timo's the funniest guy to be playing in call with, because this guy he's always locked in on one comp and is just trying to find any way of pivoting into it somehow. Like somebody's like could be playing like Anima from 2-1 with 2-star Nasus, Silas, and Jinx all on 2-1. And this guy's like, he's trying to find a way to play Warwick from this spot. And it's like, you already have like 100 HP in stacks by Krugs. And this guy's just like, all right, we got dropped a sword and a chain at Krugs. Like that's an Edge Knight. We're playing Warwick. And it's like, there's no way, man. They're like, he's so funny in call. So
I love it.
It's always funny to have him.
He's playing in the last chance qualifier this weekend, trying to get a spot in the regionals. So we're definitely cheering him on this weekend and helping prep and backseating him this week and making sure he doesn't play Warwick and all of these things.
Warwick every game.
Maybe there'll be a behind the screens about Jesus Timo, but that'd be a fun time. But I have a few more questions before we wrap up. I want to know, like, going forward, right? Mecha Cup. Now in the past, we've learned a little bit about who OwenTFT is, but what are your goals going forward? Like, where do you see this whole TFT thing going now?
Yeah, so I'd say my goals going forward are probably like set 9. I obviously want to try to play in all the Riot Cups and do as well as I can there, but I think probably in set 9, like maybe if I find like some motivation in the next couple weeks, try to like climb on ladder, but I really want to see like how high I could climb on ladder, like try to like actually like focus in like while playing ladder games, because that was something I learned from like studying the Mech Cup games, is like there's like a whole different level of like how much you're focused like while playing like those games. And I think it's like, even though like the ladder would be, it's like completely different than the tournament, the experience of like thinking really hard and like focusing while playing is a big difference compared to like Met Cup, where you're doing that every single game, and compared to ladder, where like ladder for the most part now is like your brain's just turned off, you're just like clicking units, like you kind of know what's good. But I want to try to like really climb on ladder, maybe sometime in set 9, just depending how much I like the set, or just depending how much time I have as well, of how much I can play.
So we're gonna see rank 1 Owen. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm that good.
Well, like, but then, like, what's the goal, right? Like, what are we going to hear here on this video that is going to be like, we want to see Owen hit this rank?
Uh, if I would set a number on the goal, probably like top like 10, top 15. If I could like, if I really focus and try to climb, see how high I could get of like it, like obviously like top 20, and I think that's like really good, but I don't like have any like number in mind. Just like trying to like focus and like play like in like playing ladder to like climb for like a decent
Yeah.
stretch and like see how high I can actually get. But
So breaking
there's
that
like
top
no
tier.
number like no
Yeah.
number in particular. But if I
Gotcha.
was like set a goal that's like I don't even think I could hit top 10 or top 15, but it would be cool if I like focused, climbed, and like actually did that well and climbed up to that point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just breaking that top tier is really difficult, right? Like some patches, some people can, but to be consistently there to hit those huge marks, it's a pretty good goal to work towards. Uh, but I want to ask a little bit of a spicier question. Out of all of the TFT players in North America, we'll stay in North America. Where would you rank yourself overall in like power rankings?
Oh, where would I rank myself? It's probably like it's probably like mid 70s, like I'll say like
Okay.
71st. Like
Hey,
I am not that good, so
you're the 22nd best player in set
yeah,
8.5.
that's like based off like one tournament. Like it's like maybe top 100 at best is what I'd
Oh,
rank
wow.
myself.
You said mid 70s, man. I'll put you right there. Listen, you're top 50 in my book.
Oh, okay, yeah, top
My
50
book's
is
not
pretty good.
published, but yeah, my book's not
Yeah,
published, but
I have no
I'll say
clue.
that here.
Like
What's some
I'll give myself 71.
71?
Yep.
Great. That's a great number. What's some advice you'd give to somebody who is looking to climb the TFT ladder and make Mech Cup or make whatever next open cups there are?
Yeah, so I think what helped me most is that just like meeting people in the community, and then from there is like really trying to if you're not used to like focusing, like paying attention while playing, like that's like one thing for sure is like instead of like always just having a video open or like watching some like YouTube video or stream on your other monitor or something like that, like try to like actually like really focus while playing. But like the biggest thing for sure is just like watching streams to like learn and try to understand why they're doing things. But and then also the other part is like if you like meet other people in the community, you're likely going to find people who are better than you. So then like if you're like playing in like one of the leagues that like at Aegis or something, or like you actually or like you make it into like one of the Riot Cups, is like go and VOD review those games with somebody that's like either like around your skill, better than you, like even like some people that are worse than you are like very valuable as well because they can see things you don't. But
Hmm?
just finding other people to like VOD review your own games with goes a long way. Of like you realize so many mistakes that you make. It just like unbelievable mistakes that you'd never think you'd make. Like you can watch back your own game and be like, okay, it's obvious to slam like Arch here, and then you just like slam some other random item. You're like, what was I even thinking that game? But
Mm-hmm.
so just VOD review and watching and like try just like thinking more about the game like actively and is probably the best way to improve, I think. Or that's the way I improve most. So
Yeah, absolutely. I've noticed that in myself is like most of the times I'm doing well is when I'm focused. Most of the times I'm doing bad is when I'm distracted or, talking to too many people in call or watching a video on the other side. It's like,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
those are the games I generally lose unless I'm high rolling, which, that does happen also.
Right.
But I think that's great. I think that's great advice that everyone should take. So if you're watching this video, you want to climb, there it is. There's your 3-step plan. Find friends, VOD review, and learn from streamers. And
Right.
focus. Wait, so
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Counting is hard. Yeah.
It's all good.
All right. So this is the question that everyone's wondering, and sometimes these answers are entertaining. Sometimes they may be really simple. Where did the name OwenTFT come from?
Oh yeah, this is a great story that I'm sure many people could not solve this riddle, but it is just my name plus TFT. So yeah,
Whoa.
it's very creative. I mean, it also like I just put like TFT at the end of the name for the like riots or the Giant Slayer sign up thing when I just didn't even have to. Like I could just put Owen and I was gonna get that name on Tournament Realm. But like at now this point, it sits at the meme. I'm pretty sure I'm OwenTFT for the rest of the time on while I'm playing TFT. So
You sure are, but that's not even your name on ladder though.
yeah, there's no change in that. My name on ladder is I'm Owen9842, and somebody else has OwenTFT, so I'm staying like that for a while, I guess.
That guy is famous. Whoever OwenTFT is on ladder, that guy's famous.
Yeah, people see him on ladder now and are shaken.
They sure are. Well, thank you all for joining me and diving deeper behind the screens and figuring out who OwenTFT is, answering Setsuko's question from this weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, Owen. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
I'll shout out Pete. It was Pete's birthday the other day, and he invited me to the Discord where I've improved a ton. So shout out Pete. He's a beast.
Shout out Pete. We love Pete. So thanks again for watching. We'll catch you guys soon.